Hey, well, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. The news is fast and furious, but these truckers are making a big difference. Don't kid yourself. I've got a great video here I'm going to share with you. Give you just a little commentary beforehand, but real quickly, mypillow.com, promo code Lumberjack. Big sale going on over there right now with the promo code. Go check it out. Get some of those Giza sheets, best sheets you'll ever own, some pillows, all kinds of stuff. What the truckers are doing is amazing, and they're moving the needle, not only amongst the members of parliament, but also of the citizenry. We saw a 14-point swing in approval for vaccine mandates in 1 week, okay? In 1 week. Now, not only that, now people are taking up this issue more so in Parliament. This is everywhere. We've seen a totalitarian police chief, but now I'm going to show you some video of Candice Bergen. She's the new leader of the Conservative Party up there, if there is conservatives. Anyways, but the bottom line is she really takes it to this Marco Mendicino. Okay, and what you're going to see, and this is, I want you to learn from this, is how you deal with people coming and attacking you and saying, oh, you know, so this Marco goes on about how we need to condemn and these people and overthrowing the government and desecrating statues. Well, the thing is, you know, and then he calls them racists and everything else. But the problem is that Justin Trudeau is guilty of these very things that he's trying to say the other side is doing that they aren't even really doing. What, like they put a T-shirt in the flag on the statue? They actually tore down statues, okay? He wore blackface, that's Trudeau, and so on. But she just deals with this beautifully. She calls him right back on the carpet. Folks, do not ever back off. You've got to double down with these people. You raise the bar. You know, that what they do is they try to project upon you what they are. So watch this. When globalists call you racist, wear it as a badge of honor, because really that means you're not, but they are. And so that's why they do it. I just need you to understand this, okay? When you're in debate with these people, because that's what they do. And that's what this Marco Mendicino does. And, you know, the fact of the matter is he's got nothing. Because Justin Trudeau is the very epitome of the things that they are trying to accuse this movement of. We've seen the movement out there feeding the homeless. We've seen them out there giving free food. We've seen them waving Canadian flags. Oh, heaven forbid, you know, that people should wave the flag of their nation. Okay, you have to understand. Here I live in Minnesota, and we lived through the BLM protests and saw the burning of the 3rd precinct. And I'm sitting here watching the footage out of this, okay? And they want to control the narrative, okay? And they want to say things that just aren't what they are. They're calling these people the very things that they are and expecting you just to believe it. It's absolutely pathetic what they're doing. Okay, but anyways, here, I'll get into the video, and just pay attention to this and just understand how these people act, what their tactics are, and how to combat them. And I thought this lady did an excellent job, which is why this was so noteworthy, okay? So check it out.
Lisker.
Mr. Speaker, all Canadians want to see a leader who will work to heal rifts, not further divide. A leader who will listen, even to those voices he might not agree with. A leader who will work to understand, not dismiss, name call, and gaslight. Contrary to some, there are thousands of passionate, patriotic, and peaceful Canadians on the Hill right now who just want to be heard. Will the Prime Minister extend an olive branch, and will he listen?
The Honourable Minister for Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, I think we all support free speech in this House, but there's a big difference between free speech and inciting hatred, inciting violence, desecrating war memorials, Mr. Speaker. And I would hope my honourable colleague would denounce that in the clearest terms, Mr. Speaker. Those radical leaders are not really interested in free speech because they want to pretend as though vaccines don't work. On this side of the House, we know vaccines work. That's the gateway to freedom, and this government will do everything that we can to get there. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Portage Lisker.
Of course, we all condemn hateful and destructive acts by a few at any protest. Whether it's beheading the statue of Queen Victoria in Manitoba, tearing down the statue of Sir John A. in Montreal, or putting flags on Terry Fox, whether it's burning churches, whether it's wearing blackface, whether it's Hezbollah flags or Nazi flags, we all condemn it. But I'm not talking about that, Mr. Speaker.
You might want to stay down. You might want to stay down.
The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, let's be abundantly clear that those individuals who've called for the incitement of violence to overthrow this government, who have caused significant disruption by flagrantly ignoring public health care measures that have forced shops and businesses to close, that have desecrated war memorials, are not interested in free speech, they're not interested in discourse, and they're certainly not interested in advancing our way out of this pandemic, Mr. Speaker. This government will always listen to those who want to have a robust debate about public health care measures, but we have to draw a bright line between those who are interested in that debate and those who are not.
For Portage-Lisgar.
Well, that minister is not telling the truth, and it's shameful to see what he is doing. Accusing Canadians of being...
Order. 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 I think both sides are very truthful in saying what they say. Whether they agree with it or not is something that is another story. But calling someone who's basically calling them a name or accusing them of something is not permitted in the House. I'll let the honourable member for Portage-Lister start from the top, and I'm sure she'll ask the question correctly.
Mr. Speaker, and I apologize that minister is misleading Canadians. I do get very defensive of Canadians who are outside today, patriotic, peace-loving Canadians who are called misogynist and racist by the Prime Minister. So again, I will ask the Prime Minister, who, may I remind this House, wore blackface on more times than he can remember, apologize to the peace-loving, patriotic Canadians who are outside right now just asking to be heard. Will he speak to them?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think this is a moment where we have to acknowledge that the protests that have occurred have made their point. And I would ask the member opposite to encourage the people that are outside to continue in a way that is peaceful, that moves beyond what we have seen. Ottawa is being paralyzed right now. We're seeing imagery that's not appropriate.
I'm going to ask the Honourable Minister to hold on for a second. Because I'm sure the Honourable Member for Portage-Lisgar wants to hear an answer to the question she asked. I'll let the Honourable Minister continue from where he left off.
Just say this, Mr. Speaker. I was in opposition. I was in opposition for about 7 years, and there were times where I was overheated in my rhetoric. There were moments where I got too carried away with what I believed passionately at the time. There is a moment where we need to de-escalate. There's a moment where we need to bring it down, and I'm asking the members opposite, instead of going outside with these protests, to